This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. We keeping a foot on the what? On the next. We keeping a foot on the what? On the next. Now let's get on to it, man. We have to talk about this. Because if we don't talk about this, then we're not getting anywhere. Let's talk about this. Kenny Smith. Hino's Sport has to roll his ass out on the red carpet. Kenny Smith, let me tell you something. There's 3 levels to this stuff. Before I put the unlimited pressure on your ass, before I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. Before I keeps the foot on the what? On the next. And really, into betting matchup, apply that unlimited pressure. Because you all know pressure does what? It bursts pipes. You at a high level of dissing at this point. First, you got out of pocket and put LeBron James over Kobe Bryant on the all-time list. Let me say it again. Things that make you say, Let me say it again. Things that make you say, You put LeBron James over Kobe Bryant on the all-time list. You know he knows the sport is feeling some type of way about that. Because that just didn't make no sense at its truest in its most prosperous levels. Kobe, LeBron, that's the level right there. Kobe, LeBron, that's the level right there. 5 for 7 NBA Finals average. That's a 71.4% to a 33.3 abysmal NBA Finals averager and performer. Yeah, things that make you say, Things that make you say, Now, here's the one that gets me. Now you have the audacity to sit here and fixate your mouth and say that Damian Lillard has more depth in his shot than Stephen Curry. Now, let me explain to you guys. There's levels to this alpha shit and there's levels to this beta shit. Let me say it again. There's levels to this alpha shit and there's levels to this beta shit. There is what we call 6 levels of alphas and 6 levels of betas. Get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. So hear me. Well, here's the first level of an alpha and a first level of a beta. The first level of an alpha is plain alpha. The first level of beta is plain beta. Then you have the second level of alpha and the second level of beta. The second level of an alpha is what we call a alpha that has graduated into a super alpha. Then we have what's called a super beta. Now we're going to graduate to the third level of alpha and the third level of beta. The third level of alpha and the third level of beta is this. This is when you have what we call a super true alpha, and this is what we call a pure beta supreme. That's the delineation, right? Then we graduate into the fourth levels of an alpha, and then we graduate into a fourth level of betas. This is what we call the true alpha extraordinaire. And this is what we call the high octane beta, aka alpha wannabe. Then we have the 5th level of alpha and the 5th level of beta. The 5th level of alpha is what we call a true alpha extraordinaire. And this is what we call a super high octane beta, aka super alpha wannabe. And then we have the highest level of alpha and the highest level of beta. This is what we call a super true alpha extraordinaire through and through. And this is what we call the ultimate super beta, aka alpha wannabe, aka high octane beta. That's the 6 levels. When we look on the scale, freaking Stephen Curry is what I would call a high octane beta, aka alpha wannabe. He's not even the highest iteration, but he's the highest iteration in terms of giving you this illustration that he's kind of an alpha in his game. Remember, giving you the similitude, but lacking the fullness thereof. Let me say it again. Giving you the similitude, but lacking the fullness thereof. A high octane beta, aka alpha wannabe, is basically someone who's masquerading himself as a basic level alpha, but he's really not. But he can fool you into thinking that. That's Stephen Curry's game. When we look at Damian Lillard is a pure beta supreme. A pure beta supreme is someone who's just a high level beta. He has no ability to mask to you that he's sheep in wolves clothing. He can't do that. Or he's wolves in sheep's clothing. He can't do that. Because he's just a high level beta. There's nothing about him that can fool you into thinking that he's an alpha when he's not. Now we have to talk about Now that you guys know the classes of alphas and the classes of betas, now we have to talk about their distinction. Stephen Curry, when you look at his body of work and you look at the body of work of Damian Lillard, he's on a higher level than him. So right there, he's already ethered and murked him. But the context of what we're talking about is depth. Stephen Curry has the record for being the greatest three-point shooter in NBA history. That alone in of itself separates them when it comes to range. When a guy's been putting these gaudy stats in and year out, versus a guy who's just giving you offensive exploits during seeding games, in a fraudulent, fluky, on-the-spot NBA title, in a least path of resistance NBA title that's been giving you offensive exploits in one season, and now we're going to sit here in prisoner of the moment fiasco fashion. Let me say it again. In prisoner of the moment fiasco fashion, and say that he has the audacity to be compared with Stephen Curry that's been putting in this work in since 2015, y'all. Come on. You can't be Rudy Poo and Plum Plum Breaks. You can't be classic Dolce and Troglodyte. You can't be ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. But this is what the media does. This is what He Knows the Sport is talking about. NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. They program your mind into delusion, man, into brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo-headisms so that you could believe whatever they want you to believe at that moment, i.e. prisoner of the moment fiasco. Let me say it again because what I said was so deep and profound. Get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling because I'm in He Knows the Sport, Yoda and scientific mode. They do these delusions of brain full of mush and brainwashed dodo-headisms so that they can give you basically hoopla that's going on, antics that's going on, optics, because remember, it's all about the antics and the optics of what seems to be the hot shit at the moment so that they can thereby turn you into a prisoner of the moment fiasco nonsense. That's what Damian Lillard was. Didn't He Knows the Sport tell you that Damian Lillard was going to get exposed? What happened in game 2? Keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy. The motherfucker had 18 points. Motherfucker shot 6 for 14 from the field. Motherfucker was 42.9 from the field goal percentage. I didn't hear nobody talk about that. Motherfucker was 14.3 from the three-point percentage. I didn't hear nobody talk about that. Because He Knows the Sport knows a pure beta supreme from a mile away. They lack the alpha mindset. Because to be an alpha is another level. This is shit you have to do on a consistency. But we ain't talking about that. We're talking about Stephen Curry and we're talking about Damian Lillard. Don't disrespect Chef Cook, man. Don't disrespect Chef Curry that's cooking you with the damn pot. Let me say it again. Don't disrespect Chef Curry that's been cooking you with the pot. This is the problem with the lamest NBA fans. They are too brain full of mush and brainwashed with their dodo-headisms. They've allowed NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to redirect their minds, to be prisoner of the moment fiasco idiots. That's really what they are, because they don't realize their brains have been duped. You've sat here and watched Stephen Curry put in heavyweight lifting from the three-point line, put in heavyweight lifting from half court for 5 years. And now you're going to sit here because you're caught up in the prisoner of moment situation of another offensive-oriented or offensive-minded player in Damian Lillard. What he's done, at best the last 2 years, even if you count the last 2 years, it still don't stack up with what Stephen Curry did. So when Kenny Smith talked too sideways out of his ass, because now he's on the high level of getting dissed, because first he started that nonsense when he put LeBron over Kobe Bryant in the all-time team. We know where that's coming from. That's just coming from the fact that Kobe checked his ass off of that situation that happened with the Phoenix Suns when the Lakers were up 3-1 and then the Phoenix Suns came back and won the series. And then Kobe ethered and murked Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley on their own damn Inside the NBA show. We know what time it was on that. If y'all go back and get the receipts and pull it up on a YouTube video, you'll see why Kenny Smith said what he said about that. And I ethered and murked him about that situation. But then now to fix your mouth and to be a prisoner of the moment because Damian Lillard is putting up gaudy stats offensively and now he just got exposed like He Knows the Sport told you he would. Just like now you guys are seeing Skip Bayless is going to ultimately get the last laugh because the Lakers are going to win this series. Trust and believe that. Because defense wins championships, offense gets the glory. Let me say it again. Defense wins championships, offense gets the glory. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. And that's the cutthroat true-teller fashion. You guys have to look at the distinction here. Stephen Curry's a way better shooter from the deep. He's been pulling this shit in and year out. And He Knows the Sport felt the need to have to come to his defense because enough is enough. How much of Dame Dollar fiasco nonsense are you guys going to get a hold on? The guys just giving you guys what one-trick ponies give you. Offensive exploits until they get exposed. Let me say it again. Offensive exploits until they get exposed. Here's the cold-hearted, here's the unadulterated, and here's the cutthroat true teller fashion. You have a high-octane beta, aka alpha wannabe, and you have a pure beta supreme. On the pantheon of hierarchy in terms of betas, Stephen Curry's higher level because he's done higher level stuff in his career. His catalog is proved such. So when we sitting here talking about range, let's not get so caught up in the prisoner of the moment fiasco that we even lose our basketball knowledge. Let me say it again. Let's not get caught up in such of a prisoner of the moment fiasco that we lose our basketball knowledge, so much so to the point to where we start spewing rubbish. That's what Kenny Smith is doing. Matter of fact, I think Kenny Smith's going to need to get a physical. Let me say it again. I think Kenny Smith's going to need to get a physical at this point because I don't know if he's up here. Because to be so caught up to the point now to where now you not only said that LeBron James is ranked higher than Kobe Bryant, to then fix your mouth to now say that Damian Lillard is a better guy, a better shooter, has more depth from the deep than Stephen Curry. I just leave with this. Things that make you say, Things that make you say, He knows his sport is not a defender of Stephen Curry. I've ethered and murked him. But in this instance, he knows the sport is coming to his defense. And he knows the sport felt the need to come to his defense because this is ridiculous. Let the man have his day and what he's good at. Because he ain't good at much. But at least he's good at that. This guy broke Ray Allen's record. This guy broke the records from the free throw line that was done by Steve Nash. This guy can fucking shoot. When we talk about shooting, you gotta put Stephen Curry anonymous with all of these guys. Ray Allens of the world. Reggie Millers of the world. I mean, come on. Can Damian Lillard boast that? Pure shooting. Can he boast that? So again, stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.